Well, hello again and welcome to another edition of the Speed Bag. Today, a little segment that I like to call, whoa, we all see what's about to happen here, right? It's fight week, people, and not in the usual sense where it's like, oh, hey, there's another Fox Sports 1 event. Guess I'll flip back and forth between that and Drumline until I eventually, fall asleep right before the main event is about to begin. Don't act like you haven't been there. No, this is UFC 205, which I realize, numerically probably doesn't sound as cool as like UFC 100 or UFC 200 or UFC 58,008, which you gotta do it on the calculator and then turn it upside down. You'll get it. UFC 205, just as a fight card, as like a top to bottom lineup of spectacular human combat, it's pretty much the best we've ever seen. At least, like on paper. At least as it stands right now, before any, weird injuries or USADA surprises. God, why did I even say that out loud? Look, MMA gods, if you're listening, be cool about this one. Please, I promise. If you let this one go, I promise to break into Bruce Buffer's house and burn at least 3 of his loudest tuxedos as an offering to you. Think about what the UFC has planned for Saturday night in New York City. You got 3 title fights, though it's more like 3.5 because the headliner features 2 champions, Conor McGregor and Eddie Alvarez, going at it in one of those champion versus champion super fights we've been promised since forever. You got Joanna Jędrzejczyk out there riding around on the subway, striking, fear and adoration into the hearts of millions. You got Tyron Woodley and the Wonder Man battling for the soul of the welterweight division. And that's literally just half of the pay-per-view card. Doesn't even take into account Yoel Romero versus Chris Weidman or Miesha Tate versus Raquel Pennington. Frankie Edgar is on the prelims. So is Khabib Nurmagomedov, Rashad Evans, Tim Kennedy, Jim Miller. It's just stupid how stacked this thing is. Part of the problem in putting all this in perspective for us is that we're just not used to living this way. Fight promotion is an art that works in the medium of hyperbole all the time. You hear best fight card ever, and as a fight fan you think, oh yeah, I remember the last best fight card ever. It was like 3 or 4 months ago. But this time it's actually true. We realize that, right? We're not suffering from some kind of boy who cried super fight syndrome, are we? Because this time it's for real. This time, at least, is not just, Dana White and Joe Rogan standing in front of a cage yelling the word insane at each other back and forth until their voices give out. No, this is not a test. And that's the weird thing about being a fight fan, right? Because for once, the reality is as good, if not better, than the hype. For once, the difficulty is in capturing the magnitude and the awesomeness of this event. That doesn't happen often for us in this sport. So I guess what I'm saying is, man, we better enjoy it while it lasts.